lively in the comments. Stevie P, here we are. Good evening, everybody. Liban Youssef, always one of the first ones. Greg, who do we have, Steve, as a first ever listener? Let me go back up here in the comments. First time listener, Asem, welcome. And yes, we will be talking about Hakan. But Stevie P, are you ready? Because we got to get this show going.
Let's go.
Here we go.
You are listening to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Radio Rossonera and Milan fans all over the world.
Donnarumma at the double, sensational from him. Rafael Leao produces a moment of utter magic.
Teo Hernandez al gol! Teo Hernandez! Ancora lui! Una meraviglia! Ibrahimovic! Zlatan Ibrahimovic! Fuori classe assoluto!
Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast, AZZURRI Weekly Podcast. Here we talk everything AZZURRI, Milan, Mercato Madness, and yes, well, we're not professionals.
Nor do we pretend to be.
We got 30 games in a row without a loss. Hakan is a snake. Gentlemen, we have a lot of things to talk about, but you guys know, as we do every single week, we got to get stuff out of the way. We got housekeeping stuff. Stevie P, first of all, I know I texted you yesterday, but I wanted to wish you and everybody out there a happy belated Father's Day. Hope you had a great Father's Day, Stevie P. Did you get breakfast in bed from the wife?
No, we don't do that stuff. My mother-in-law graciously makes lobster for everybody. So, fantastic.
Very nice. So happy Father's Day to everybody out there, to listeners, to the followers. Gentlemen, Stevie P and I, we have some fans. We do have some fans, Stevie. And I just wanted to take this time here, Steve. We got a nice little package from Sweden, from our friend Zvanko.
Sweden.
And I wanted to open it up here in front of everybody. And not only did he send us a poster of all Milan players, but he wanted to see here, keep the amazing work. Regards, Zvanko. And Steve, look at these beautiful, look at this.
Fantastic.
So we got two of them right here. Zvanko, thank you so very much for this beautiful gift. We'll make sure I'll bring this over to Steve whenever I have a chance.
Grande
Zvanko, and I know he is Croatian, living in Sweden. But thank you very much, Zvanko. We really, really greatly appreciate it. Stevie P, I just want to take the time to can you please explain to everybody, we went a little viral in our own kind of way, right? Stevie P, look at our sponsors. Well, the Milan sponsors, and this was a great idea on your behalf. And Sonny, look at Sonny's great work. And Presidente obviously had a great hand in this, because he wanted to make sure we represented all of Milan's.
Yeah, he really went and get all their partners and sponsors, and he really managed this as exquisitely as he always does.
We got La Mollisana. By the way, Colin said I was representing Pennelisce. It is not Pennelisce. It was Pennerigate. I don't get the joke about the hair products next to me. I'm just saying. And to Facebook Frank, the Lawnmower 4.0 is not an official Milan sponsor, but we got everybody there. We got Puma, La Mollisana, we got the Alps, and Presidente needed to make sure that the Alps water was there. But thank you very much for the laughs. And Stevie P, thank you for these great ideas that you're having. And we'll say that we went viral in our own kind of way, right?
In our own way, yeah. But now FIFA and UEFA came out and they said the bottles of Coca-Cola and all the bottles need to stay in their place.
They need to stay in their place, so it's not gonna. We're not gonna do like the Russian coach that just basically.
He's the best. He opened it really like he was at La Festa de San Gennaro. He had no bottle opener. I love what they did with that. I think it was the Ukrainian player who said, "Guys, Coca-Cola." In Ukrainian, he said, "Call me, call me." So like I get the whole nutrition thing, but Ronaldo CR7 has to understand that it's Coca-Cola that's paying the bills. It's
And the fact that he
Coca-Cola.
did a commercial for Coca-Cola back in the day, and
Exactly.
anyways,
and he could have his opinion on it,
yeah,
whatever.
obviously, but
But I love all the like.
what's wrong?
This is because I just saw all the answers on, and I saw all the people on all the health fanatics and the health crazed people saying, "Oh, good for you, Ronaldo. Good for you. You drink water, yay." But I don't know. The last I checked, Coca-Cola is not illegal.
In the Patreon discussion, Steve, we were saying like these poor kids, let them have. I'm not saying give them Coke every single day, but the guys that had kids like that once in a while that we bring them to McDonald's for that little Coke, and I think it was. I love how Coca-Cola lost $4 billion of market share, but Heineken with Pogba, Heineken actually gained $1.5 billion of market share from beer.
But people did amazing things with that whole. There was one guy who posted, when Pogba took out the Heineken bottle and put it underneath the table, there was a guy who grabbed it and drank from it. So, look, guys. I get it. It's not the most healthiest of things, but when it comes to sponsors and stuff, if I'm Coca-Cola, I'm really pissed off.
Yeah, because you're giving millions and millions of dollars, right? CR7, if you got a problem with Coca-Cola, put up the money. That's what I was saying with the Patreon guys. Put up the money and then replace the sponsorship. Exactly. Steve, I just want to take the time to talk about Denmark today. What a beautiful story, especially with everything that happened. Qualifying, scoring all those goals. Kajar, and yes, we're going to keep on calling Kajar because that's the way we speak about him and out of love. But what a great story for Denmark actually qualifying today, is it not?
Yeah, it was a good game, roller coaster ride for them. With all that's happened, it's if anybody deserved to qualify today, it was Denmark. Russia decided that they don't play football, they don't play soccer anymore.
Drink Coca-Cola, Steve.
I don't know. I didn't get the Russian team this tournament. They were very disappointing. The Turkish team very disappointing. But look, hats off to teams like Austria, Denmark. Not because Denmark wasn't favored to go through. Just Denmark, the roller coaster that they went through, and a team like Wales, right?
No, definitely, and for it's just a great story. A couple of more games coming up today and tomorrow. We know we got Saturday. Steve, before we get into the Azzurri talk, and because we're going to talk about Hakan before Stevie P, I wanted to ask you. The way I am, I'm still on the fence. I go, if I got to celebrate, I got to celebrate as soon as we qualify. Stevie P, I'm going to ask you, this jersey right here that was gifted to me from Walks with Lenny. Right? And obviously, Steve, you're going to appreciate this, right? Number 10. When do I start wearing this jersey, Stevie?
When you take it to Evangelista and you put the R Baggio in the back and number 10 in the front.
All right. So I can't wear it.
Well, you can, but
I got to give it now. Right now,
you got to give it the just that it needs.
I'm wearing 2002, the upside down World Cup jacket here. So, gentlemen, Steve, do you have anything else for housekeeping? Because everybody wants us to talk about it.
As we transition to Hakan, so I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek. This is another Milan Club World t-shirt. La Madonnina draped in black and red. You can get your stuff at the Milan Club World. We have Milan Club Montreal stuff on there. All the other clubs that do great work with Paolo. You were able to get the Hakan. So that was our first official Hakan t-shirt, because I can't pronounce his name, Calhanoglu, and now we officially took it down.
It's been removed.
It's down.
And thanks to Sonny because he said this was going to be a joke, but I loved it. Let's get rid of Milan news first. We'll talk about the Azzurri after. Stevie P, look, I want to talk about Hakan. I want to talk about. Look, we've been very, very vocal about l'era delle bandiere is over, right? That people are in it for the money and we need to accept it. Calhanoglu, I could understand Inter's move, because Ericsson, if we need to listen to the rules of Italy soccer, cannot play in Italy because of this somewhat, guys, it's not a pacemaker, but to monitor his heart.
Yeah.
Going over for over $500,000, 500,000 euros a year. People calling him more of a traditore than Donnarumma, or, you know. And I'm going to bring this up now, Steve, because Francis did ask us a question on Twitter saying, you know, I think what David is saying is spot on and we consider financial reality of the movement. And David Damoyal, a good friend, saying Milan isn't losing Sidor for Pirlo here, okay. But no Italian club could afford to keep losing starters for nothing. Replacing them is not cheap or easy. You can pound your chest about principles and lines and sands, but that stuff matters less once games start being played. And somebody brought, I think it was our friend Nima the Snake that said, you know, if you look at Calhanoglu, in the last 3 coaches, he's been starting every single game. We've been critical of him. I get it. But this is, I know it's easy for us to say good riddance, but unfortunately, you know, I don't know what to think about this, Steve. I wanted to ask you your opinion of the Hakan move to Inter.
With Hakan, I haven't shied away from the fact that I'm not a Hakan fan. Just the inconsistency and the way he dipped in and out of form so much.
Yeah.
That's why I was a huge protector of Gigio, because as much as Gigio went and left for the money, Gigio was constantly a savior. He represented at least 10 points. I've said that before, right?
Yes, you have.
You know, Hakan, I'm not saying, you know, he had an average Milan career, but there was too many peaks and valleys. And for the number 10 of Milan, that's just not good enough. And there was another question in the chat too. Yes, it is. I am worried about this. There is too many people leaving on freeze. We're not making money on selling these players. But the reality is that we couldn't sell Gigio and Calhanoglu.
It's worrisome, Steve. It is worrisome.
But we couldn't sell them. We needed them to make to Champions League. We needed the bodies. But now there's a mercato where you don't have to. Yes, you didn't make any money off him, but the amortization cost is long gone, right? From when we bought him in, I think, 2017, if I remember that.
And Sonny's sending us that the message and thinking about it, guys, from the 2017. You know, with the what were their names? Fassone and Mirabelli, Musacchio, Rodriguez, Andre Silva, Calhanoglu, Conti, Antonio Donnarumma, Bonucci, Biglia, Borini, Kalinic. Kessie is the only one left over. Now, can we see this as like, let's turn the glass half full? Can say let's turn the page, but this is bad. No matter how we look at it, Donnarumma was bad. Calhanoglu is bad because we're losing them, and it's a starter, guys. We could shit on him.
Hold on. Donnarumma was bad, but Milan worked well to replace him quickly.
I'll give you that.
Here and with Hakan, I've read things today where he didn't even inform Milan that he got an offer from Inter.
I read that.
He got the Inter offer, and he decided that he was going to take it. Now, again, I'm on the fence with this guy. Like, this is like directly going to Inter. This burns a lot more for me, and this is my personal opinion.
It burns more if you went to Juventus.
More to Juventus, or more if you left Milan for money or whatever, right? But what burns me the most is that a lot of Hakan Calhanoglu fans, you know, who were not as critical as I was on Hakan, really stuck by this guy. He really stuck by they really stuck by him, and they believed that he can, you know, the Milan Twitter, there was 50% of them that were trying to save him, and 50% of them wanted to bury him. So, you know, I guess that there's no, you know, he owes nothing to those fans. Absolutely not. But to go to Inter, that's a really snake move.
But Steve, he had a terrible last half of the season, and he had an even more terrible Euro. Somebody offers you even $500,000 more. Now, non è roba da Milan because he took the money. That's fine. You took the money. right? Now you're enemy number one in Milan, but I keep on going back to, L'era delle Bandiere is over. Yes, Donnarumma hurt, but I think letting him leave for free hurt more than not believing that he was roba da Milan. But to Inter is just and good work to Sonny, because it actually makes it look at him. And now, you know what? I want you to talk with your Milan glasses on. I want you to fit. I'm trying to be like straight down the middle, but this one fucking hurts. Like it really does. Like to Inter, seriously, dude.
But if Inter, they take away an important piece from a direct rival, Milan, who finished second in the league. I know for us, we can say yes, good riddance, bidone, blah blah. But we're replacing him with who? We don't have Diaz. We don't have Diaz. Diaz is still in that dry loan spell. We have to purchase someone. So until we purchase someone, I'll reserve any comment to whether it's going to be bad.
I'm sorry, Steve. Diaz might have had a great last 4 to 5 games, but Diaz is not going to be our player to bring us to the Champions League. To make that rotation. I don't want to be a negative guy, but Diaz is not that guy. Is he not? Is he?
Not for me.
So we do need to have a replacement. But look, in Maldini, we trust. He's done good so far. We'll see what happens. I think a lot of the moves will happen after the Euro. There's so many different names coming up, especially strikers. Ibra getting that surgery, will be out for 2 months. But let's talk about Frank the Tank, Steve. Supposedly, from the last things that we've heard, 4.5 is what we offered. He wants 6. I think after everything that's happened with Calhanoglu and Donnarumma, Kessie ain't going to come out and say, I want $10 million a year. Give him the $6 million a year. Just give him the $6 million a year.
It's negotiation. They're negotiating. They're going to find if he wants to stay, they'll find a middle ground. The problem is that, we were all talking about the Superliga. If Wolverhampton comes tomorrow and Wolverhampton tells Kessie, I'm going to give you $10 million a year, can Milan match the $10 million a year?
Unfortunately not.
So then don't cry, guys. Don't cry. This is the game now. The Serie A, if they don't fix themselves, will always be in this point of view. Will always be the ones that are trying to keep their players and just being outbid by anybody.
We just can't let this Calhanoglu and Donnarumma situation happen to Kessie. We can't let this happen. We cannot lose him for free.
They have to negotiate. They have to negotiate and see. He wants 6. The same thing with Tonali. Everybody's crying with Tonali. Milan, I thought that when you have obbligo di riscatto, that's the obbligo, and that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to pay that money. Again, people, remember, everybody went crazy. No, Steve, they have to buy him. They have no choice to buy him. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Doesn't look like they have the option. Doesn't look like they have to, because they're still negotiating. Tomori. Everybody's saying, you're crazy, Steve. It's 28 million and they can't say they want more. It's true, they can't say they want more, but who says Milan can't say they want to give less?
They tried.
They tried.
So but in the end, they paid it, right?
You give them at least the hats off. They tried.
Yeah.
With Tonali, they're trying. They're pushing the wrong buttons, but they're trying.
If it was Galliani, it would have came in at 18 probably, Steve.
No, but he's trying to insert a player to bring down the cost, which I get it.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, financial fair play will or will not come back. We don't know. But Milan still needs to fix their books on the business side. Now, Frank Kessie, if I talk as a Milan fan, yes, give him what he wants. I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
I think he's been our best player. I think he does amazing work, and I think he still has many more years to do. Many more years. And if it comes to the point that you have to sell him, he gave you everything.
He did.
He gave you everything. It's going to be a ridiculous offer, and you can sell him, and we can replace.
I think a lot of the people have a hard time, myself included, Steve. I keep on saying it. It's a business now. It's a business, and even though it's for the fans, no, it's a business. And sometimes situations like this, they come to hurt you, but you need to remind yourself that this is a business. And Maldini has had some hiccups, correct, but so far so good. We'll see what Greg saying. Kessi's situation is constantly making Zlatan the highest paid player. The bar has been set, and he rightly asking for more. Can you argue with that? I can't argue with that. I know Zlatan has experience on the side and what he brings to the table, but I can't argue with that point, Steve.
You can't, but that's exact. It's the Ronaldo situation in Juve.
Yeah.
Same thing. Then Dybala wants more. Then Bernardeschi wants more. Then Chiellini and Bonucci want more. It's a roller coaster effect.
Morata is going to ask more for all the goals missed that he...
I have no idea. This is another good comment from 3K. Seems like it is buyer's remorse with Tonali. I think it's a bit harsh, buyer's remorse. Like I said in the season review, I think this year has to be a mulligan for Tonali. I think there was a lot of pressure. There was a ton of things that went wrong. It wasn't really a great season for the kid, but I would not give up on him. Absolutely not. I think we've seen that mistake already with bad timing with someone like Locatelli, and I don't want that to happen again.
That's what it comes down to, guys. But gentlemen, after all this Milan negativity talk, everything, Steve, do you mind if we take a cooling break? Can we just take a cooling break as everybody does for 9 o'clock games? Look. I'm just gonna take yourself a bottle of water. Have a cooling break here. Have a cooling break. I'm gonna have a cooling break as well. It's hot. You
We're good.
Cooling break is done. All right, so let me bring up our next slide, Stevie P, because let's go on to better news, right? And talk about our beloved Azzurri, because it has been 30 games in a row. It has been without a loss, right? Mancini seems to be having the greatest of impact on these players. And Stevie P, we did win 1-0. People might say it's only 1-0, but this was the B team. Wales is no pushover. But how about your Wales didn't really like Donnarumma? Did he?
There was no reason for any of the teams to play. Italy was qualified. It was for the winner of the group. The only way Wales gets eliminated or knocked out is if Swiss was going to win 2-0 and Italy was beating them 3-0. And I think on ESPN the commentator said that after that they had to go to the Pythagorean theorem to calculate exactly who was going to be in, whether it would be Switzerland or Wales. So you saw that the game, really Wales tried to rest their players that were on yellow cards, and did so for a long time in the game. I don't like calling this Italy B because I liked the lineup. I didn't mind it.
And great depth depth in this team.
It
right?
shows the depth of Italy and how they play for each other. I think it was a good game. I think Italy did what they had to do. They really controlled the ball. They controlled the flow of the game. They did not give Wales anything. Italy didn't let Wales play anything in regards to their game.
How about Bernardeschi, Steve?
Bernardeschi is the dumbest player I've ever seen in my life, and I'm being just totally honest. He started off, if I'm not mistaken, on the right.
Yeah.
He was so completely lost. Mancini said, just go play on the left so that we can bring Chiesa back on the right. And, Chiesa could build something with Toloi and Pessina on that side. But, guys, you know what? Everybody's going to say, oh, you're a Juve basher. But this is exactly what happens when you bring someone onto a team like this where they haven't played really quality minutes during the year. And yes, he's obviously a talented player. I'm not saying he's not talented, but you lose the decision making, you lose you lose that game shape. I don't think he's game shape. People are going to say, oh, but he made the 75% of his passes and he hit the post. Yeah, but he shouldn't be on top of the ball. With the players that we have, he should not be on top of the ball delivering these crosses or these, like, he fumbles over himself. I think he slowed the game down. And, Bernardeschi for me was just someone that I was so disappointed that he was called on. And not that I have anything against Bernardeschi. You have someone like Politano who sits at home. Okay, Pellegrini, he was injured. But come on, guys. Like, even the Juventini agree. If the Juventini agree, there has to be a problem.
It's a good thing that we won, Steve, because I think Bernardeschi would have been shot on a bit more. Pessina with the goal. Guys, I get it was a great goal, but Steve, I just have a problem with Pessina scores a goal, and all of a sudden, look at Milan. We gave up on a great talent. Oh my God, guys, he was part of Milan from 2015 to 2017. I love this performance, but it's just like, I don't know. I get, look, my feelings about Locatelli. I've changed. I can see that he's a much better player from what I perceived a couple of months ago. But don't tell me that Pessina is somebody that we gave up on. It's like, guys, this was like 4 years ago. I get it, Steve. I get it. But it's the scouting. And
it's unfortunate that
I'm happy for him. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, and it's good for Italy, but it's bad for Milan. And these are players that you don't let go. But he plays in an Atalanta team where it's a formation-driven team. Yeah. Guys, 2015 to 2017, go back. It was not the best years for Milan. We were going to lose players like this. I think it's unfair to say, I think it was unfair to say that, we gave up on them. They were not going to progress in their careers. Like Locatelli was not going to make it to this Milan up until not to the Milan of 2021.
Because the plan back then was not, let's develop our players, let's take a couple of seasons as a hit. They wanted to win right away and try to get back from over there. And Locatelli, guys, now he's grown, right? But would Milan would have waited all these years? Would they have waited for Pessina all these years? I'm very happy for the guy. People might call it a lucky goal. People might call it, and they made reference to the Mancini goal, the one he scored. But in the end, they did what they needed to do, right? They won the game. They went up 1-0. Wales was, I don't know, Steve.
Not interested.
I don't know. Like, my friend Gerard from French guy is like, oh, your 30 games, you haven't played a top 10 team yet, and that's
shut up. Tell Gerard to shut up. For me, shut up.
So
I'm so fed up with these people. Like, they should just join teams with
but
the
that's
English
the hate.
pundits.
That's the hate, right?
Yeah,
but have we been challenged? We haven't been challenged. We haven't been challenged.
This is the word. They don't pick their opponents. They don't pick their opponents in qualifying.
True. And I'm sorry, France didn't fucking impress anybody.
So you know what? France tied against Hungary. Is anybody saying that France is not good? England tied against Scotland. Is anybody saying
England is a favorite,
is not
Steve?
Good? Well, you know what? But then go talk to them. Leave me alone. Like, if you don't watch Italian soccer and you don't follow La Nazionale, like, I'm gonna give my opinion on France. I think France, because I watch them, is a fantastic team who right now is underperforming. They should not be in this point. They should not be tying Hungary 1-1. But you know what? Chapeau to Hungary. That's the beauty of the Euros.
They weren't scared.
That's the beauty of the World Cup. They played in front of a fantastic crowd at home. It was beautiful to see them. Even the players, emotional to see them. So, 30 games. Go. Tell me. Go on a winning streak of 30 games. This is the same thing of, Milan is unbeaten and this, but who did they play? But I don't make the schedule in Serie A. You don't make the schedule in Serie A.
And on that note, to the Gary Neville's, to the Gary Lineker called Scotland and England the best game of the tournament.
Oh,
Neville said Italy hasn't been challenged, and Patrick Vieira bonsoir, Monsieur Vieira, but saying that we don't have enough of the tank to go all the way.
We have
Sorry,
two
guys.
teams.
Who the fuck is asking you? Why don't you concentrate on your
But
teams?
the thing is that I'm gonna give a shout out to Nima and Nima and the guys at Italian Football Podcast there.
With Carlo and
With Carlo and and John. They said it exactly the way it is, guys. Become a Patreon. Go listen to their podcast. They said it like, if you don't watch the games,
don't talk.
Who are you to be a pundit? And you know what? They said it, and I agree. Neville, when he's talking about the English Premier League, he's good.
Yeah,
he calls it the way it is. But unfortunately, if you're just watching the EPL and you just watch England and don't open your eyes to watch anything else, unfortunately, guys, you're not going to get any respect from anybody.
It's just disappointing because a lot of people are watching these pundits talk, and how much time did ESPN take to recognize Serie A as being the top man of the matches and of the goals scored? You want to talk to us about it being a farmers league? Everything comes in a cycle, and I don't think anybody's realized that Serie A is at the beginning of that, back to that cycle. Because remember, Italy was on top of the football soccer world 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and just put a bit more respect. Gosen from look at the disrespect that he got from Mueller, right? Yeah, obviously he played very well. He only played for 60 minutes because he plays in Italy. His own teammate. And what did he say? Goes from Atalanta. He's like, yeah, better 60 great minutes than 90 minutes no good. It's like, it just seems that we don't get the respect that we're supposed to get. And in the end, you know what? We'll laugh last. And I just don't get the hate. You want to hate Italy all we want. But you know what makes me laugh, Steve, is we haven't won. We haven't been there in 5 years. Like, what do you have to hate for? Are you scared? Are you fucking scared?
They missed the World Cup. Yes, I get it. They missed the World Cup, man. That's a big problem.
It is.
That should never, ever, ever. And it's proof now that you can field two teams. Guys, we had Verratti playing with this team, okay? We have major decisions to make. Does Verratti make the starting 11? Can you touch Italy's starting 11 after the first two games?
Verratti does not make. No, I'm sorry.
My personal opinion is no. There's arguments, and they're valid arguments from guys who we just talk football. We're not paid pundits. We don't get paid for this stuff. We watch and we have a debate.
We can have a valid reason why Verratti should be starting as a an older guy, a bit more experience, 100%. But looking at the team, what they've done in the first two games, hate all you want. And I posted that on Twitter, right? I tweeted, I was like, hate us. We'll thrive on the hate because we've known to be hated. And I get it. I'm not a fan of the people celebrating in the streets after one win. The third win, I got no problem. But in the end, when I saw the people there, and I try to see your point of view, let the people be happy, right? We've qualified. My tournament starts now because I've been through so much heartache of not qualifying after group stages. And we got Austria. I don't want to push Austria over, but the way Italy has shown me how they play, move over Austria, move over Arnold Schwarzenegger, we're done. That's the way I look at it, because we cannot. We're on a high, Steve, are we not?
We are on a high, and they have to take the opponent and respect the opponent, obviously. But the way Italy's been playing, it's a great matchup for them. It works fantastically in terms of like what we try to do on the ball. They will park the bus, and it will be similar to the first half of the Turkey game. The difference is that we're now 4 games in and not the first game of the tournament. So, guys, the thing is that Locatelli, Barella, guys, you're not touching those guys. You understand? So for Verratti to get in, are you gonna start playing around with Jorginho?
No,
it's too risky. For me, it's too risky. I like Verratti a lot. I found against Wales, he did. I saw the comments. He did calm down a lot of things. He did provide really dangerous balls.
Because that's what the game that they were playing for.
Exactly.
And to our friend Tony Marinaro, welcome to Hakan. Get yourself a Hakan t-shirt because he is
we
an
want to hear him on 690 pronounce Hakan Calhanoglu. That's for sure.
But I think his choices were good. I think I was not worried. Usually, Steve, when we get that 1-0 win where it's Italy playing defensive and they park the bus, I didn't feel this way. I just felt that, look, complete changes, right? What was it? 8 changes? 8 different changes. They did what they had to do. And seeing, Pessina scored there. But on the other side, Wales did not bring it to us at all. Did Donnarumma even touch the ball, Steve?
No, he had to make a couple of saves. We had a little bit of blunders in the back. I'm going to give top marks to an Interiste right now.
Yeah.
Wearing number 23 again. Guys, Bastoni was fantastic.
Yeah, he was.
Bastoni could have gotten charged for harassment, and it's Gareth Bale that was going to file that charge. Gareth Bale.
He doesn't care anymore, Gareth Bale. Huh?
No, the game before he cared. So against Italy, guys, Bastoni was good. Bastoni was really good. He did commit a lot of fouls. I was very shocked that he didn't end up with a yellow. But yeah, Bastoni was abusing Bale. I give top marks to Bastoni. Acerbi was a little bit shaky on that bouncing ball once he came in for Bonucci, and it led to a scoring chance. But guys, Bastoni, the center backs for Italy are strong. They're really strong.
We got Austria on Saturday, 3 p.m. STVP. We'll see what goes on for the next couple of days for the rest of the teams. Let's take it over to Patreon questions. Fabio saying, good day, boys. First, happy Father's Day to the fellas of MWP. Second, what a solid performance from the B team of Italy. Man, are they deep with talent. And as happy I am to see they will face on Saturday, I got to say, Hakan, you chose to go to Inter. Inter, is this betrayal or a blessing in disguise? How does anybody have faith in Inter actually paying their salaries? Be smart and renew players like Kessie now. Either way, Maldini has a tough road ahead, but he set the tone for the club. No more bench players from other teams. No more holding the squad hostage in the final years. Milan need to find hidden gems and quality players that will keep us in the Champions League and Serie A title chase for years to come. So blessing or blunder, letting the artist formerly known as Hakan Van Basten go. We spoke a little bit, but Steve, if he's going to continue, the only thing I'm afraid of is that what reasons would he have to, let me stick it to Milan? We offered you 4.5 billion. You went for 5. When was the last time he had great performances? That second time Ibra got injured and he stood on his head and he was scoring left, right, and center?
Again, I'm not going to shy away from it. It's not, go back in the podcast. I am not someone who's going to go back on my word. I've always said Hakan Calhanoglu non è da Milan. Should not be wearing the number 10. Would have been, now Milan, again, our goal was to make it to Champions League. We had to take anything and use everything that we had. Yeah. And Pioli did this year. He used everything that he possibly had to his disposal to make the Champions League. We are in the Champions League now. Now it's time for Maldini, Massara to open up the pocketbook a bit.
Yeah.
And you need to address the right wing. You need to address the striker. You need to now address the trequartista. Those are 3 positions that manufacture and bring goals. Right wing, you guys, you know who I want on the right wing.
Not Castillejo.
No, not Castillejo. Let's go, guys. It's time. It's time to bring Mimo home.
Yeah.
Bring Mimo back. Let's go. And it's time to
bring in Calabrese Berardi. Yeah. And Gillis, you didn't miss the Patreon unless you go to Patreon. I post these at 6 a.m. Eastern time. Pay attention to your notification. What else do we have on the podcast on the Patreon? Rock Nation Husney. Hello, Vinny and Steve. Hope you're both doing all right. You don't have to read my question because it's not child friendly. Took me a while to calm down after reading the news that Turncoat left us hanging and ditched us for those blue motherfuckers. Hey, Rock Nation Husney. Does he really think that 1.5 solid seasons can make up for the Euro-style invisible shit play he's been pulling before that? I'm done with all these sort of players who are just playing for the paycheck. It's time management signs not just players, but believers. There should be a deadline for all the players who have not signed renewals before the first day of preseason friendlies. If they haven't signed and more interested in playing games, then they can simply fuck off to another club. We are in Champions League now, and we can be treated like some relegation scrap feeders club. Also, I keep hearing our players linked to other clubs as well, like 8th place shitbag Arsenal, and their agents are busy promoting them outside, then they can go fuck off too. Sorry, I'm pissed. Steve, you've seen Husney. He's a quiet guy. Rock Nation Husney. He's pissed off over there, but I think he's speaking from the heart, is he not?
Yeah, because again, there's people, we said it before, there's people that were really on the Hakan team. They were really, they wanted him to well, and I wanted him to do well too. The thing is that, again, my level of success at Milan, it's the Frank Kessie style of success. You understand? Yeah. You pay your dues. He didn't have the best start, but like he continued and he continued and he carried on and he gave more and he gave more. Those are the type of players that, Milan, the Benacers who started off bad, and that's why I would not give up on a player like Tonali. You made that investment. He didn't have the best of years. It's time to come back and, prove.
If we get a rebate on it. But you know what, Steve? This is a nice comment here. He's saying from Mr. Young. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Guys, my mates are calling Milan a low-ball football club that can't even match players' wages, let alone transfer fees that rent players for seasons to season as cheapskate solutions.
Well, I can answer that very easily.
But I could understand his mates, like, maybe Milan haters.
No, but his mates don't understand soccer.
I think it is turning the page. You're getting rid of these guys.
It's unfortunate, but I'm going to be very honest with him. His mates don't understand soccer. If you can't play in the Champions League and you're not generating revenue from your league, you have no choice.
They're following.
You have no choice.
They're following, like, no, this is where we stand, and I'm not going to. This is where,
they cannot.
Does Hakan deserve €5 million a year, Steve?
I don't think so.
Does he even deserve 4.5 after 4 years at Milan? Maybe.
But again, now, and I agree, but we had no choice to take the loans. We had no choice. Our goal was to make the Champions League. His mates have to understand. Milan, unlike PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City, we did not suffer. We suffered the wrath of financial fair play.
Yeah.
They told us your books are not good, so you cannot spend.
And if your mates want to know, why don't you go watch Mark van Bommel on a 6-month contract at Milan in 2011 crying at the end. That's what Milan means to a lot of
the
players
thing is
there.
That this is the video game generation. You understand? Like,
we're following the rules.
It's sad to say it's the video game generation, because in a video game you can let Hakan go and you can bring in whoever you want. But unfortunately, business and life does not work like that. And we will suffer. Remember, Vinny, I'll remember this podcast. We're June 21st, 2021. We will live, when we are older, in a generation where people will stop remembering soccer history at Messi and Ronaldo. And that is fucking sad.
It is.
That is sad.
It is. Greg is saying, good day, guys. I want to thank Hakan for the most important assist which he has ever given to Milan, weakening the Inter midfield. Thank you, Hakan. Hakan for Eriksson. As a Milan fan, I take that swap 7 days of the week and twice on Sunday. My comments this week is on the stadium project. And from all I am reading, Inter's precarious financial situation is holding back the process. If a new stadium is vital to our commercial evolution, does it make sense for it to be dependent on the participation of our biggest rivals? While Inter needs the new stadium as well, isn't it more paramount to our future than theirs? If yes, add Samu as a sweetener to the talks and negotiates for us to move on with the stadium project on our own. They can lease from us if they wish to play their continental matches in a modern facility. I like Greg because we've heard a couple of stories, Steve, about the whole stadium and how it's been on hold. But Milan has talked about this. What do you make of the story? Do you think Milan should just, if we need to believe, the Scaronis and should they just move on without Inter, or just own the stadium, or maybe rent it out to them, like the way he's
At
the way
a
he's
certain
asking?
point, we need to change. I know. I trust me. I'm one of the hundreds of thousands, I'm going to say, that I've unfortunately not been able to go to San Siro. I will get there.
Yep.
But at a certain point, we need to move on. The dynasty and what happened there in the past, we need to make our own destiny, our own history, our own moments in our own stadium with our own revenue. That's how you're going to make
I like
money.
Juventus.
Yeah, I love Juventus. So you guys, you make fun of them. They did it. They screwed up because they made it too small. But
They wouldn't be able to pay the Ronaldo wages and anything if they didn't have their own stadium, Steve. Let's be honest.
No,
Even though
weren't
they're in the
gonna be
red,
able to do it.
yeah.
They weren't going to be able to do that. But it's a new facility. Guys, everybody's going to say the history. Guys, the Montreal Canadiens, look it up. We played in the Forum for the longest time. They had to move on. They had to be in a better place, in a new state, in a new Forum, new facilities, attract the fans. It's all about user experience. It's about the user's journey once they get to the stadium. And at San Siro, from what I hear, it's not the most pleasant of journeys. It's beautiful to a Milan fan because we love Milan. But if you bring someone who goes to Dallas Cowboy Stadium, AT&T Park, whatever the hell they call it, day in and day out, and they end up at the San Siro, guys, they're going to say this is a dump.
It's like us bringing people to the Olympic Stadium. It's the exact same kind of principle, right? So you're very welcome, and we appreciate you guys viewing. It comes down to always, guys, let's stop thinking with the heart. I know it's hard, some of the Milan, the red and black, but they need to move on. Big teams have moved on, Steve, and it hurts to say that the Juventuses, the Bayern Munichs of the world, they've all moved on, and in the end, it all worked out for them.
Guys,
right?
It doesn't make sense, Sassuolo has a new stadium, Udine have a new stadium.
Atalanta, they need the San Siro to play in the Champions League.
Atalanta renovated their stadium, and at a certain point, there's only so many renovations that could be done at the San Siro. But it's not a modern-day football stadium right now.
Gio saying, keep up the great work, guys. I would like to see Pessina as the Hakan replacement, and we better make the deal this summer before he hits 100 appearances. Also, we need to sign Kessie. The management should meet the demands. We can't lose him for free. We're definitely on your side there, Gio, and thank you for always sharing your nice pictures. The other time you see Steve, he was grilling over there. He had the big Baresi fan. He's not Italian born, but he supports the Azzurri, and he was at World Cup 1994 with his dad watching that. So Gio, always appreciate. And Gillis made it, Steve. Hey guys, I can't tell you how happy I am about Hakan addition by subtraction there. So now that there's a need for a TQ, what do you mean by TQ? How are you feeling about Diaz now? I mean, Pioli trusted him down the stretch for crucial games. You guys know I like him. And trequartistas don't come cheap. So I say complete the loan with the option and focus on center forward and right wing. Forza Milan. I said it before, Steve. I don't think Diaz is that guy that's going to give you 30 games a season. I think he's a great way to substitute. But I think you should be able to bring in maybe somebody at the same level. And, people talking about, the guy's mates talking about we're always on loans and people on the cheap. But it's funny how Diaz and Dalot maybe didn't start off the great way, but here they are asking to stay at Milan and trying to find a deal where there were dry loans, Steve, both of them, right?
Yeah.
So that's gotta say something. But how about you? Do you see he's not your 30, 35 games a season guy, is he?
No, I don't think he's going to be able to stay healthy enough and perform at that level right now. I think he has a lot of talent. He brings a lot of flair. But I agree with Vince Mancini. We cannot rely on him, right? So Now we're at a different ball game, guys. It's not, I love Diaz. I like his, I like his spunk. I like his creativity. I like all that. We're at another level, guys. Champions League football, Serie A football. They watch you, they adapt, they shut you down, and it could be a lonely, lonely place, right? So the Mercato is going to be important. The Euro, guys, it's hard to talk about the Mercato because there's a lot of rumors. I love it. People hate it, but there's a lot of rumors. We need to know what direction they're going and what they want to buy, especially now with Hakan. Inter's moving fast. They know that they took Hakan Calhanoglu because they know they're not bringing back Eriksen.
Unfortunately not. And I think I was trying to read up on it that it is some sort of Italian law that he has because of some sort of pacemaker. But in the end, to them, it's like, we're going to get a guy that's somewhat not going to be the level of Eriksen. And guys, let's remember, Eriksen didn't play the first half of the season because Conte put him in that time that he scored that free goal, the free kick on us. But guys, it is 53 minutes in. Stevie P, I'm gonna give you my feel-good moment. Let's start off with the Philly Hauser new number 10. Stevie P's head will explode. He knows how to push the buttons. Fuji's and Funyans. I mentioned it before, but my indigestion's got to go to the English pundits. Honestly, it's ridiculous that in your level of professionalism, you should at least bring maybe this, maybe that. But to hear guys like Gary Neville, to guys like Patrick Vieira that played in Italy, and then Lineker, I don't know if he was being sarcastic, but the fact that you just called, Scotland, England the best game of the tournament, Neville with his comments, Vieira with his comments, and in the end, who the fuck's asking you? I just felt that, bring an argument, Steve. I feel
who's asking you. The world is
okay,
waiting
but at
for
least
their opinion.
bring your argument to the table and say, here's what I think, and here's what. But where are you standing on? It just feels that you love to hate Italy. Everybody loves to hate Italy. I get it, right? But I just find that you should be hating on England. That all of a sudden they scored 1 goal in 2 games and nobody's trash talking England. I don't get it. There's the Yorkshire Pirlo. What happened on the last game, Steve? The Yorkshire Pirlo.
I would be very surprised that they're not. We don't get. We see the the ESPN, the DAZN reports, what we can find on Twitter, guys. I'm pretty sure that the English tabloids and media are destroying the English national team. Destroying, from Harry Kane up until David Seaman, whoever the hell their goalie is. They're getting destroyed, guys. And I'm not saying no, but I look at it some way. When someone says one thing that, you scratch your head and you say, it's this guy, is he? You get angry and I get angry. And I say, could it be he doesn't know what he's talking about? Then the second time he says something, and I agree, by the way, guys, this is my indigestion too. The second time he says it, I'm like, wow, could it be 2 times? He really is going to say this the second time, but not give me a reason why he thinks that they don't have enough gas in the tank? Then when it's the 3rd time, Vinny, you're not going to fool me anymore.
Yeah. This
is someone who's made a character of himself, and he's the character of the villain. He wants to be your WWE heel. He wants people like us and Twitter and social media to be talking about how stupid can Gary Neville be that he thinks that they don't have enough gas in the tank. And you know what? Tell me that Milan had an 11-player roster, and you know what? Their subs were subpar.
I'd accept that.
I would say, you know what? He has a point. They're never going to be able to do this. 90 minutes, 3 games in a row for the round robin, have a break, do round of 16, quarterfinal, semifinal, final, without dying out. I would say, you know what?
He's got a point.
You have a point. But Gary, once you see the lineup that they put on Wales against Wales, and again, I'm not gonna take anything. I don't want to disrespect Wales. They were happy qualifying.
Scotland.
They were happy. No.
Italy and Wales. Sorry.
Wales for Italy. They were happy qualifying. So that's the type of game that they played. They don't want any cards, right? So once you see that, you gotta own up. We own up. When I make a mistake, I own up.
Yeah, he should have said
So
something.
why can't he own up and say, you know what? Maybe I made a mistake about that, right? Because on ESPN, I've been watching them, and Del Piero is doing a fantastic time. That's my brioche of the week. I'm not a Del Piero fan, but I'm really happy that this guy, who is obvious that English is not his first language, has the guts to go on national, international TV with ESPN and be watched by a ton of people in the States who are probably ignorant enough to make fun of him.
Give us an imitation, Steve, if you could.
No, there's no imitation, because I won't do that to him, because if I'd have to go on Italian TV, that would be the same thing. And he's on there and he's bringing up great points and he's having great dialogue and he's the best dressed of all of them.
Can't go wrong with that.
So kudos to him. That's my brioche of the week.
I'm going to go with Mancini with putting in Sirigu at the 89th minute and the whole story coming out of there that, he has this biggest regret of being at the Italian Novanta and not making a single minute of playing, and just wanted to make sure that everybody gets some sort of minute of playing. I found that really chapeau, Mancini. Did you even see that back heel, Steve, that he did while he was there? And can we give a shout out to the Roberto Mancini and team Drip, as they say? Did you see those jackets? Those nice gray light charcoal, not charcoal. It's like light gray jackets. That beautiful, always coiffed hair. You can't go wrong with the Roberto. He manscapes for sure, right, Steve?
No.
And we completely forgot to mention Manscaped. So we'll record a video this week. We'll do a little promo on Manscaped because we're already an hour in. Steve, anything else?
Guys, we know that we now, as AZZURRI fans, we look to Austria. Their homework right now is Austria. But there's a ton of fun games that are coming. There's a ton of fun games. Guys, England's in trouble. They need to pull out a result. France, Germany, Portugal group, that's another fun one. So we're ready for something to come out from there. That's for sure.
And we'll see if what happens in that group with Germany, France, Portugal. We'll see what happens from over there. It's a Seattle. Hello, what do you guys think about Yaremchuk being linked with Milan? Shevchenko's behind it, right, Steve? So who knows what maybe he's talking to Maldini.
He's a big, tall striker. He's someone that, he fits that physique of what we've always said, what we wanted Piatek to be. Look, I've watched 2 out of the 3 Ukraine games, and I find that he does create chances. He's able to create on his own. He is playing at the Euro. I think he needs a bit of seasoning, but it's an interesting sign. And if it's coming from Sheva, that's a good scout. So
give us a discount there, Sheva. Anything else, TVP, before I let everybody go?
Forza Azzurri, Forza Italia, round of 16, this Saturday, 3 o'clock in Eastern Standard Time Zone.
Steve, are we getting together, man? Are we doing
this Saturday
3 o'clock?
Bar Ciociaro will be there.
Listen in Montreal, 3 o'clock. Let's call Anthony, make sure that he's got the whole patio reserved for us, because it is Italy's in Zona Bianca, as I said. Us, we're in Zona, what are we, yellow, something like that. But let's do it. TVP, Saturday, 3 p.m. Whoever wants to join us, we shall be there live, tweeting, Instagramming, whatever else is out there. But Forza Italia, ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan e Forza Azzurri.
Have a good night, guys. Oh, I forgot. We got to put the video.